Good day, all my fine YouTubers. Thank you for tuning into the channel. This is Crumpets Tea and Sewing. My name is T, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my first impressions of a pattern that I purchased off of eBay. And also, I want to share with you my impressions of these name tags that I purchased off of Etsy. These are actually clothing labels, and I'm going to share with you my impression of those as well. So let's get started. Let's open up this pattern and see what's in here. So I just want to let you know that I have not opened it yet. I did not dare to open the envelope yet. Nevertheless, I do know what's in the envelope, but I want to share with you my first impressions of this pattern, so I did not open it. It is a mail order pattern. So let's get started. Maybe I should use scissors. I'm going to cut the pattern. Okay, so here's the packing slip. It's a vintage Ann Adams ladies retro Jackie O style dress pattern. It's a size 16 and a half. And you see the price there? I paid $5.39 for this. I'm excited that I have been able to pay so little for a retro pattern, because nowadays they are very, very expensive. I've seen patterns from anywhere from $25 up to $239 on Etsy. So when I saw this pattern on eBay, I was just ecstatic, and I had to grab it. This is a Ann Adams pattern, so you have fewer of these than we have, of the Simplicity and Butterick. So those tend to be a lot more. I have found anyway, they tend to be a lot more on eBay and Etsy. So I was really excited when I found this for $5.39. So let's open it up here and see what's in here. So we have an original envelope from Ann Adams pattern. How cool is that? It's an original envelope. Here are the instructions of the pattern. It just tells you that basically this is a misses and women's dresses, and they offer half sizes. I really like that they have half sizes here. So I'm a 16 and a half. So that's the dress that I ordered. I might have to do some slight adjustments to the waist. It's just indicating on the side here these half sizes and how many yards of fabric you would need for the size that you are going to be making your garment with. So if I purchase a 35-inch wide fabric, I would need 4 3/8 yards of fabric. If I purchase a 39-inch wide fabric, it would be 3 7/8 yards of fabric, and so on and so on. Alright, so it does need interfacing, and I'm guessing the interfacing is going to be for the collar. It allows 2 inch hem allowance on the lower edge of the dress. So that's a pretty wide hem if you go with the full hem allowance. And then the width of the lower edge size is 16.5 inches. This particular pattern consists of 9 pieces. So you have 9 pattern pieces here. So I think that this would be maybe an advanced beginner pattern because you are working with a collar and sleeves and a zipper. So it might be advanced beginner, maybe intermediate. I'll have to look at it some more to tell. But it consists of the front bodice, the back bodice, the collar, the front facing. You have a sleeve, and you can do a 3/4 sleeve, also a 3/4 cuff, a short sleeve cuff, a front skirt, and a back skirt. Okay, so let's open this up some more. These patterns tend to be very fragile, so I want to make sure that I'm treating them with care and not damaging them in any kind of way. All right. So here is the front illustration of the pattern. It is just a beautiful pattern. You're actually using buttons going down the front of the dress. So it looks like it's a shirt dress, a very fancy shirt dress. So I'm really excited to make this piece, and I'm hoping to make this one real soon. I have not had an opportunity to use an Ann Adams pattern yet, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. I don't know anything about their instructions or anything, so this is why this video is a first impression video, because I have no idea about Ann Adams at all. I don't know anything about this company, so hopefully it will be a great pattern and I will be able to follow their instructions. So these instructions appear to be very similar to the big 4 pattern companies that we use today in America. And as you can see, you know, step 1, it starts with your darts. So you put your darts in your front bodice and your back bodice. And then it moves on to piece number 3, which is the collar. So you're going to be working on the collar and attaching the collar to the bodice front and back. So yeah, it looks like these are pretty straightforward instructions so far. So step 3, it says base interfacing to wrong side of collar with right sides of fabric together, stitching facing to along outer unnotched edge, clip at intervals, trim seam to 1/4 inch, turn collar right side out. So yeah, it looks like these instructions are pretty simple and straightforward, and it appears as if you will be going from each step without any issues. That is great. If it appears as if I'm going really fast, I apologize. I feel like this pattern is going to be great because I can understand the pattern instructions and it seems very simple. It doesn't seem like I'm going to be doing anything too hard. So I'm using buttons and a zipper. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I wonder if I can omit the zipper and just go with the buttons. I'll have to see. But so far I'm really impressed with this pattern. All right, so let's turn the instructions on the other side. So on the reverse side of the instructions, there is a guide here. It's titled Practical Dressmaking Hints for Printed Pattern. So this is during a time when printed patterns were all the rage because they were just coming out. I don't know the year this particular pattern was made because it's not featured on the instructions or the pattern. So I'm going to have to do some research and hopefully I will be able to find out. And then I can put that information here in the video. This is a time when printed patterns were all the rage. They were just coming out. And as you can see, it just tells you how to read the pattern. It tells you what to do here before you start the pattern. So basically it's just giving you instructions on how to prepare your pattern pieces, how to prepare your fabric, you know, all that basic and general information that you find today in the pattern envelope for your big four pattern companies today. So yeah, it's just all the regular basic information. And again, just look at this dress. It is just so beautiful. And the model, the way that they illustrated her here is just like she's boss. Like she knows she is the boss. So yeah, this dress is definitely going to make me look like I am the business. I am excited to make a garment with this pattern. Okay, so this pattern is printed, as I mentioned before. I'm not going to open this up and show you all of the pieces in here because that's going to be very busy and noisy, but it is a printed pattern. It is in shape. It is a pattern that has not been cut, so I'm really happy about that. It is a new pattern and I'm just floored that I found this for $5.39. So I'm excited about making a garment with this pattern. So that is my first impression with this Ann Adams pattern. Now the other thing that I purchased online last week are these clothing labels, and I intended to purchase clothing labels to put on the back of my handmade garments, and I wanted to go with something cheap at first, so not cheap material, but just cheap and inexpensive in cost. And the reason why I wanted to go with something inexpensive is because I have never had clothing labels before, and so I don't really know what I'm doing and what I'm purchasing, and I didn't know what would be a high quality clothing label and what would be a poor clothing label. And so right now I'm just kind of experimenting and trying to see which clothing labels will be good for me. So for this pack of clothing labels, I paid $12, and I believe there's 60 or 70 clothing labels here. Clothing labels only have my name on it, doesn't have anything else, no information or anything like that. They are 100% cotton clothing labels, and I purchased these from an Etsy shop. I'll put that information in the description box. I don't remember which Etsy shop I purchased these from, so I'll put that information in the description box below. Here is a closer look at the label. I don't remember what the dimensions are for these particular labels, but I'll also put that information in the description box below as well. If you have any experience with buying clothing labels, or what are the best clothing labels out there for a relatively inexpensive price, please comment below and let me know who you purchase your clothing labels from, and whether or not these clothing labels are just okay, or if I should consider investing into something else. I don't own a sewing business, so keep that in mind. These are just labels for my personal clothes, my personal me-made items, and handmade wardrobe. I'm not putting my labels on clothing that I'm making for other people. So I don't feel like it's necessary to buy 200 plus labels for, $100 or $200. So that's why I purchased these for $12, because I don't really feel the need to buy expensive labels at the time. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you found this video entertaining. If you enjoyed watching this video and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would encourage you to do so. Please click that red button if you want to receive future notifications regarding videos like these. And also, I do pattern reviews and pattern hauls, and in the future I'm planning on doing a couple of sewing tutorials as well, so look for those in the future. Also, if you have any ideas as to what kind of fabric I should use for this Ann Adams pattern, please leave comments below about that as well. I'm looking for something that's 100% cotton, so I want to use a fabric that is flowy but not too drapey, if that makes any sense. So if you have any suggestions, please leave those in the comment section below, and I will take all of those comments and suggestions into consideration. Okay, until next time, stay creative.